I want to thank the gentlelady from Arizona. Madam Speaker, I rise in opposition to the rule that's before us today. As Democrats in the House bring forward legislation in the name of supporting the environment and climate, I'd like to talk a little bit about the process. My good friend Chairman McGovern and the Democratic majority of the House Rules Committee received a total of 91 amendments submitted for consideration on the legislation that we have before us. And as you just heard from Mr. Cole, of the 45 Democrat amendments, more than half were made in order, or 26 of those. But of the 44 Republican amendments submitted for consideration, only 3, I repeat that, 3 of those were made in order. Myself, I offered 2 of those 44 amendments. They were non-controversial. They were ruled germane to the legislation before us by the House parliamentarian, and all they did simply was recognize the clean, renewable benefits of hydropower and the clean, emissions-free benefits of nuclear power. But Chairman McGovern and his committee refused to allow this recognition. So you got to ask yourself, Madam Speaker, why? Why, if we are supposedly here to debate policy affecting our environment and our climate, why would they not want to discuss the clean energy that comes from hydroelectric dams like those in my district along the Columbia and the Snake Rivers? Why would they not want to discuss the emissions-free energy produced by nuclear power plants like the Columbia Generating Station in my district in Central Washington? It's because the efforts put forward by Democrats in the House, be it the flawed Paris Agreement legislation that's before us or the radical new Green Deal proposal, which I might add has no mention of hydropower and actually calls for the end of nuclear power in our nation, have nothing to do with science and everything to do with politics. The majority party, the Democrats, with these proposals are more focused on pushing a mandated top-down system that will inevitably do nothing to help our environment. What we should be doing, and what my Republican colleagues continue to advocate for, is focusing on the free market approach spurred by collaboration and innovation between our national laboratories, research universities, federal partners, and the private sector. I would say to my friend Mr. McGovern, Madam Speaker, that when the Republicans were in the majority, we made a conscientious effort on the Rules Committee to provide equitable treatment of amendments offered to legislation. With the process before us today, it is disappointing to see the chairman not following in that good faith effort, and I would urge a no vote. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I yield back.